Yo, what it do? It's your boy Silent62 here, and today we're going to be talking about whether old football boots can compete with new football boots, and whether it's viable to wear old boots in 2026. So, for the old football boot, we've got the Hypervenom Phantom 2, the Hyper Edition, the 2.5. Let's just make that clear. And we'll be comparing it with the Adidas Predator 25 Obsidian Strikes versus the Leather Edition. Not really the most similar boots, but it's an old boot and it's a new boot. So, what I would say about old boots is they're more experimental from just what I kind of like feel. For example, the Puma V1.11 SL up there, it's really experimental, lightweight boot with carbon fiber. And it's the same with this. You know, we've got the Nike Skin upper, like very soft mesh, but what's experimental is the addition of the Flywire cables. And what that does is really creates a unique experience. And I feel like all the boots have the difference between each model is like light and day compared to modern day where boots kind of end up feeling quite similar. However, that leads to slight issues with the boot. For example, the Flywire cables, whilst it creates really nice rigidity and stiffness and lockdown through the midfoot and just throughout the entire boot, it also creates a little bit of discomfort. For example, this specific Flywire cable here goes right over the knuckle of my big toe, and when I'm wearing the boots, it creates quite a lot of pressure, you know, when they're tight, and it's kind of uncomfortable. Which compares to the 25 Obsidian Strike. I know it's a different style of boot, but this is way more comfortable than the Hypervenom 2, and it just fits on my foot, and there's just no pressure or anything. I feel like most modern boots are way more comfortable than the older boots, and that's just through progression of technology and, you know, the lasts that they use, and just like a general higher quality of fit and comfort has become more of a priority rather than technology. I feel, you know, you still get the technology of the rubber striking elements, but I don't know, it's not necessarily the most experimental thing, especially when you compare it to, you know, like the really high cut collar, the Flywire cables going throughout. I just feel like the technology was more of an aspect in older boots rather than it nowadays, where it's more focused on comfort and kind of just design as well. So what I would say is, yes, you can still get away with wearing older boots, because whilst, you know, they might be slightly less comfortable, the experience you get from playing in them is unlike anything else, really. Especially I feel from boots from around that mid 2010s to maybe like 2018, 2020 sort of time period, the experience you can get in them is nothing can really compare. Like the different technologies that was being put out back then, and they're not unwearable level of uncomfortable. Some boots are really comfortable, like my Superfly 5s are very comfortable boots, but I just figured that this was a good comparison and a good boot to talk about in this situation.